with countries is such an exhilarating moment when I get the opportunity to, moderate the show and to host the show. This morning promises to be very insightful, very educative, very informative, and I'm happy and confident that we'll be able to exact what you need from us in relation to explaining and understanding, explaining to you what the situations are in respect of our governance process in Ghana. This morning there are a number of issues that we're going to be touching on, but it is important that even before we do that, that we share with the viewers something which is very significant and poignant, to the political discussions that are ongoing in Ghana. And it's all in relation to Dr. Bawumia's lecture. I don't know whether it was a lecture, whether it was a symposium, whether, but he claims that he was opening a next chapter, for the governance of this nation, and that he was, sharing with us his visions and ideas and how he thinks he can run the country when given the opportunity, or if given the opportunity to run the country. Now, a number of issues came out as a result of that, and indeed the opposition political parties, sort of disagreed with the vice president on a number of things, and one of them is the fact that the vice president sought to absolve himself of all the negatives which have characterized the administration of Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, and taking credit for all the positives which have happened in this administration. Now, fast forward, people, especially some media people, decided to create their own definitions or to create their own understanding of what the disagreements are, to the extent that people have actually now decided that they will take the disagreement and coin a political term for it. And indeed, yesterday I was watching Paul Admotri, and he was talking about collective responsibility. And I said, but collective responsibility, in what context are people using collective responsibility? And collective responsibility, the definition of it is not cast in stone, because when you look at collective responsibility as a practice, a political practice, or a system of practice in British parliamentary political system, that definition will not fit into the narrative being expressed by the Ghanaian people. So if you are trying to pick and choose, what definition best works for you in countering the disagreements that people have to Bawumia's presentation, then I think that you're being disingenuous and you're being unfair to the facts. Now, collective responsibility can be found even in law. Collective responsibility can be found in business. Collective responsibility can be found in politics. So the political definition of collective responsibility, it's different from the legal definition of collective responsibility. Of course, if the vice president plays a certain significant role in the administration of this country, and people find that the political system that they run, or the administration, this particular administration, has failed in that regard, and people are raising significant concerns or relevant concerns, right? You deciding to define that critique or that criticism as a collective responsibility is what I find troubling. That you define it in relation to the British parliamentary system of governance is problematic. So I think we should be very charitable. Now, it is important that for us to be able to have an open discussion, devoid of any sentiment or emotions, it is important that we go back and understand the duties of the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. So first of all, let's define the duties and responsibilities of the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. My research team are also putting together the functions of the economic management team. This one, we are not going to do any hearsay, any propaganda, any unfounded allegations. We are going to base our analysis of the issues on facts and on law. Okay? Now, duties of the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. So the vice president presides over various meetings in absence of the president. The vice president presides over various meetings in absence of the president. I think, Greg, if you can share this slide with the technical team so they can project it on the screens so viewers can follow. Now, 2, he acts on behalf of the president when the president is out of the country. That's Article 68. The vice president shall be a member of cabinet. Article 76. The vice president shall preside over cabinet meetings in the absence of the president. Salary and emolument of the vice president. Salary. The vice president earns 39,397. Retirement package is 549,492. The vice president is a member of the following committees: the National Security Council, the Armed Forces Council, the Police Service Council, the Prisons Service Council, and is the chair of the Economic Management Team. The Economic Management Team. I am getting the functions of the Economic Management Team in order that it may guide our discussions going forward. So these are the functions of the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. And I have also shared with you his salary and emolument. And of course, there are several other benefits that come with being the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, which benefits are funded by the taxes of the Ghanaian people. Now, if I hear this argument of the driver's mate and people saying that the driver's mate does not play an important role in the journey, I find it quite troubling. Okay, so if we don't want to talk about the driver's mate, then perhaps we should start talking about using an OA bus, because I know an OA bus, you know, the OA buses don't have mates. But if you're using the driver's mate, that means the trotro analogy, then it's important to understand the role that the mate plays in that journey, right? So the mate picks the passengers. The driver is driving the car. So they have a destination in mind. So if they are going to Kaswa, they know that they are going to Kaswa. But before they get to Kaswa, there are different stops, there are different junctions, there are different places that people may get off at. So they get to Malam Junction, someone will get down, someone will join the bus. They get to Weja, someone will get down, someone will join the bus. So that's how it operates. Now, who determines where to stop to pick a passenger? It is the mate who determines where to stop to pick a passenger, even though the one behind the steering wheel is the driver, undoubtedly. Now, who also takes the money from the passengers? The person who takes the monies from the passengers is the mate. So the mate is the one who will tell the passengers that we are at Weja. Now your fee is 1 Ghana cedi. Your fee is 50 pesos. Your fee is 20 pesos. So the driver drives the car, but the mate is the one who coordinates and ensures that all the passengers who are in the bus pay their lorry fares. So that is an important function of the mate. Now, assuming that they get to Kaswa and the mate is unable, to provide the monies or the monies that the mate collected, he is not able to give it to the driver. It means that the mate has failed to perform his duties in that journey. So the mate cannot at all. If, for instance, they go and then the driver knows that you are supposed to get 100 Ghana cedis by the time we get to Kaswa, and they get to Kaswa and the money is not up to 100 Ghana cedis. Maybe the mate took only 20 Ghana cedis. The driver questions the mate that why is it that we are supposed to get 100 Ghana cedis, but I only have 20 Ghana cedis. You are only accounting for 20 Ghana cedis. It means that the mate has failed to do his job. So that is it. So if I hear people say that, oh, he's not the driver, and sometimes when the driver goes to maybe buy food or drink water, and then the car is in the middle of the road, the mates are the ones who move the car and park, they are able to park it well. So the mate plays an important role. So we will discuss all these matters here. I just wanted for us to understand the functions of the vice president. And I also sort of want us to understand and appreciate that a mate plays an important role in the journey. And in fact, yes, the driver's role is to make sure people are safe, but the mate's role is to ensure that the finances in that journey are protected and are up to the amount of money that is expected to be made. So let me just share the topics with you. My viewers are here. I'm talking too much, but I didn't think they were here. They would be here soon, so that I had planned this already. Palestinians in northern Gaza on verge of famine. Daily guide. You are part of the mess. Alan tells Baumia over attempts to blame. Attempts by party to blame over economic crisis. I don't know. This one was not captured well. If you can resend it to me. Akufo-Addo to deliver sooner February 17th, February 27th. That's the Ghanaian Observer newspaper this morning. But Amona is here. Good morning to you, comrade.
Good morning.
I trust you are well. And Honorable Lady Hussein is also here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Kwame.
Yeah.
And greetings from Tamale and the incoming president's current. I'm here, Ghana. We want President Mahama to come after he has come.
I'm here.
Then you will come and join. So I beg you to join us to let President Mahama come.
You are talking about incoming president when I'm here.
That's why I'm saying that for the time being, the consensus is that we should let President Mahama come and finish the job.
There's no reason why Kwame is going
to bring some hope and wipe away the tears, the unending tears of Ghanaians today from the excruciating hardship the MPP are dead.
I mean,
it was a fantastic tour of the northern region.
Right.
And the euphoria and the rousing welcome.
I saw your pictures.
Yeah, given to President Mahama. Yes.
Are you the campaign coordinator in the northern region? I think they should give you the position.
Kwame,
I think you
matters.
Oh, why? So I can't think again.
No, I didn't say. Oh, Kwame, can I gag you?
So I said I think. Oh, Kwame, I said I think.
But Kwame, did I slap you?
Must you tell me what to say?
Kwame, did I slap you?
Can't I say what I want to say?
I didn't slap you.
I said I think Honorable Lady should lead.
Thank you very much for the.
I said I think.
Even the NDC gives me the porter in the Porter's Lodge job. I will work.
Yeah.
I'm working for the party, and for me, it's a party first.
Yeah.
And so whatever we shall all do to ensure that President Mahama comes to power and we have a parliamentary majority across the length and breadth of the country to ensure that the government revamps the economy and brings life back to the good people of this country who have suffered for far too long. I mean, it's not for nothing that I say that when we finally kick out this hopelessly uninspiring government of Nana Akufo-Addo, Dr. Bawumia, it will be like second independence. There will be carnival on the streets.
I think we'll come to that conversation. So we can expand on that. I've been following the town hall meeting. Yeah. I think it's quite resonating. And so people actually appreciate the fact that
people can't wait for
the former president
7th.
John Dramani Mahama and the flag bearer of the NDC is actually allowing the people to tell him what they want. I think that's quite brilliant. Not imposing his vision of the people.
Paternalistic approach to politics where you think as a father you should do whatever you want for your children without even listening to them. You know, Kwabe, deciphering the true problems is half the solution. So you listen to the people themselves, and then when the people hand you the mandate, you go straight and allocate resources and make sure that the resources go to them and the work is done. So that's what President Mahama is doing. Wonderful job, and the response is tremendous. When it comes to this one, I'm sure Dr. Bawumia, you will see that ever since he was elected flag bearer, he has been flat. Nothing. This was just an agenda to hear him because he's lost vim. And people were not talking about him again. He's forgotten, the credibility is in tatters. So a lot of this is, I'm sure we'll get there.
All right. Corey, you're contesting.
Yes.
To become the flag bearer of PNC.
And then the president of Ghana.
And the president of Ghana.
Sure.
Right. When did you declare this intention? Or is it fresh?
Oh no, it means you've not been following your own programs. This was declared on Kwesi Pratt's Talk Time, when Bless hosted the event on behalf of Kwesi Pratt, and the question was asked, and I made it clear that when the party opens nominations, I will pick the nominations and I will run for the office. Since then, I've been doing some tours, meeting and engaging with regional executives. And I have already done some tours in the Ashanti Eastern. I've been to the Bono region Bono East and Ahafo regions. And I just returned the day before yesterday from the Bono region to take a little respite and to go back to continue the work. And so my next trip will be to head towards the northern regions and then to do the northeast, do upper east, and then do Savannah and do my home region, the upper west region. So
in the same vein, I'm actually the campaign manager for Audi Shak.
The general secretary. I think that he's a fantastic young man.
Brilliant guy.
Yeah. He's a fantastic young man.
Yes.
Just that he's also coming against some other formidable persons, all of whom are my boys. And then I will have to sit down with them because I don't think that people proximate to me should be seen contesting against each other. There are many positions within the party, but there's no doubt that Awudu is a fantastic young man. And I have groomed him.
Yes.
I know his mettle. I understand him. At one point in time, you could say that he was my chief of staff, and so.
But he's always been your chief of staff.
And so, it is something that is close to my
heart. If you don't support Audi Shak, me myself, I campaign against you.
Well, it is.
Audi Shak it's not.
Audi Shak.
Not negotiable.
Yeah, it's not negotiable. Just as it is not negotiable for me to campaign for you. It is not negotiable.
I have never said that if after listing the credentials of the man and the person I have trained, if he's not competent to handle the job, then it means that me, myself, I have failed in my executions. And I don't think that he has ever denied the fact that I have mentored him, I have guided him. And so there are many things probably he still needs to learn. But I think that he's coming up, just as the other people are.
But congratulations in advance. I know that definitely as for the PNC, it's in your pocket.
It is not the case of Nantechi and Akufo-Addo.
Oh, no.
It has never been in my pocket. I just think that our delegates now are more willing than before. As I keep saying, they've tasted water and they've tasted alcohol. And they realize that water is far superior to alcohol in every ramifications. And so the current hiatus within our political party is testimony of the role that I have played over the years to ensure that we have been able to knit together. Hey, without blowing word and without saying anything, Alhaji ABF Hussein has been one of the persons that when things were not working well within our political party, even external as he is, he was called upon to come and talk between myself and Edward Mama to bring some sanity and some level, just to let you know. I mean, he didn't want this thing to be disclosed, but to let you know that when things are going bad, you can resort to people who are respected by others to resolve matters within your
I wonder why he's not in the UN. He was in Rwanda. He was also resolving matters in Rwanda.
He came. I mean, it was a tense moment in 2008. And the role he played between myself, Edwin Mama, and Alhaji Ramadan, I mean, it's unbelievable, you know. And so we are able to identify people from outside, from within, to be able to resolve issues. Today, it appears that the party does not have what it takes to resolve our own matters. And then here we are with such a monumental confusion leading to a case where it appears that we are headed in no direction. But I'm certain that with the call that has been made upon me by our party, I will lead the party, will restore the dignity of the party, and will win election 2024.
Very well. Well, thank you very much. Honorable, maybe you have to say something nice about Audi Shak, because me, I'm campaigning for Audi Shak.
I think, like I just told you, let me just tell you that Audi Shak, his candidature and his victory by the grace of Allah is not negotiable. This is a very brilliant, steadfast, dedicated, visionary young man. When you talk to Audi Shak for 5 minutes, you will see demonstrably his understanding of the political system and situation. Yeah. So by no, I don't know. That's why I was asking Comrade Benamona, who are the other candidates?
Oh,
because I thought that after
by mentioning, okay, since you are insisting, we have Faruddin Yakubu, who is currently a deputy general secretary. We have Suleiman Seidu, who is the Ashanti Regional Secretary of the party, since you want me. These are the people who have notified me of their intentions.
I don't know.
I sincerely didn't want to mention names.
As a Democratic Party, I'm sure that everybody has an unfettered right to.
But of course, like I said, all three are my boys, and I need to talk to them. I have indicated
I'm sure that if you look at, without any attempt to undermine somebody's integrity or listen, I want to believe that Audi Shark stands heads above.
Saga.
In the party.
Good morning. Sorry.
Good morning. But Bernard Mona, let me congratulate him. I'm sure that he has paid his dues well over in the PNC and qualifies amply to represent the party at any level. And so if at this point in time he chooses to go for the flag bearership of the party, there can't be any doubt in any body's mind, especially within the PNC, that he's the man to look for. And so I would wish him well and wish him the best by the grace of Allah to realize his ambition of becoming the flag bearer of the PNC. My only point of departure is when we come to the ultimate contest. I'm sure that
that I will win.
I hope that he will do very well, but he will lend his support.
No, I will win.
To His Excellency President John Dramani.
No, I will win.
And,
you see, Alaji, you know this well, that when the stone is falling from above, you don't go and hold your neighbor's head.
You hold your
you
head.
Hold your head.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Because you have to protect your squammy. If a stone is falling from above and you hear that the stone is falling up from above, you come and hold ABA's head to protect his head from crashing.
See, President Mahama is a household word.
This is a presidential phone.
You were talking to me.
I am.
Yes, Huawei.
Huawei? This is Huawei?
But you know I'm a Huawei man.
Yes.
Hey, Saka, this is Huawei. No,
you know
I don't have to campaign for them. Later we'll talk about that.
No, you know me, I've been a Huawei man.
No, this one does it too. Because you see, I'm going to do your campaign strategy. So I need something like this to work on your strategy.
So Kwame, I will wish you well.
We will get to.
Oh, wait. Are you the one moderating the show? If you like, if
you ask me a question, I was going to ask you.
He didn't ask you a question. What question did he ask you? What question did he
ask
you?
Oh, how is it?
You were greeting me. What did he say?
And I was answering.
You see that the man is forcing the question. The man is forcing the question.
Kwame doesn't remember, or you remember.
The man who asked
that is a legal. He doesn't remember. It's a legal response.
On the show, they don't ask how is it.
Zaka, my brother.
You see the man.
Ask the question.
I should ask you how are you.
He's forcing you to ask the question.
Okay, how are you? Zaka, you kill me.
What question is
General Secretary.
General Secretary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wish you know.
You know him, right?
Who?
Audi Shark.
Oh, why?
That's his brother.
Oh, then the matter.
Last week. Okay, not last 2 weeks.
Then the matter is settled. I also met your friend yesterday. The one you've been talking to me about.
We talk about so many friends.
Oh, what's his name? Henry Cote.
Oh.
I met him yesterday. I mentioned you. He said, "Oh yeah, me and Saka we strangled Pao."
Yeah.
We strangled which one? They took Saka's position and gave it to him.
Oh no. He's a man.
Saka was the high up at ICQ said the man was a poor man.
So you and me used to work with ICQ.
Oh yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
I will always work for him.
Dispensing justice in a society in flux, walking a legal tightrope. This is a book written by His Lordship Justice Kwesi Nkrumah Duamosei, and we'll be launching this book on the 26th of February 2024. Please let me do this. Dispensing justice in a society in flux, walking a legal tightrope. So this is a book written by His Lordship Justice Kwesi Nkrumah Duamosei, and we'll be launching this book on the 26th of February 2024. I'll share the details with you soon. But listen, I have read this book, and it gives you a historical understanding of our judicial system, and even the expeditious trials and the problems that we had in relation to expeditiously dealing with matters in court, and how there were reforms, and how we've been able to at least achieve some of the things which were suggested or recommended in the reforms and things like that. Now, this is a must-read book, I won't lie to you, for all law students, because it gives you a better understanding of, especially those doing constitutional law and legal systems, and interpretation. You actually need this book. It's a very, very good book. Now, yes, even though we've not officially launched it, but we have few copies that we are selling. So I want to, there's a number that you need to call, and then you can, I don't know the price, I don't know. But the launch is on the 22nd, I beg your pardon, I said 22nd February 2024. Law Court Complex Auditorium. So, the one that was built by Professor Atamios, the Law Court Complex Auditorium. The time is 2 p.m. So if you want to be there, call 0243 689 906. 0243 689 906. I repeat, 0243 689 906. And I've read this. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So even if you look at the table of content, so they have the table of cases, they have the table of content. Chapter 1 talks about the docket. Chapter 2 talks about justice. Chapter 3 talks about society. Chapter 4 looks at the nation Ghana. Chapter 5 talks about Ghana, a society in flux. Chapter 6 talks about the law. Chapter 7 talks about the laws of Ghana, English law and justice system on the Gold Coast. Chapter 8 talks about the laws of Ghana, development of the laws of Ghana as declared by Article 11 of the Constitution. Then the part 2, walking the tightrope. Chapter 9 talks about ascertaining the law. Chapter 10 talks about walking across substantive law. Chapter 11 talks about walking across procedural law. So even for those who do civil law, who are doing civil law and criminal law, you need this. You really need this in your life. You see, guarding against the impediment to justice, contempt of court, talked about injunctions, walking across procedural law, service of processes. So even civil procedure is here. Yeah, even lawyers, we need it. We need it. Modern regime of procedural. Look, so this book, I'm telling you, is for everybody. Everybody. Look, everybody. And there are cases, table of cases as well. So you can see.
Yeah.
There are table of cases.
Very good.
So, Abaduve, Awache, Abebrese, and Kai, and others. So
the
please,
writer.
Just
read something about that.
Oh, yes. So let me just read the author. The author is a retired justice of the Court of Appeal of Ghana. He was called to the bar in Ghana on 20th November 1980.
Wow.
And was appointed a justice of appeal on 26th March 2008 after 28 years private legal practice. He retired on 26 December 2018. And this book is about dispensing or delivering justice. Justice is delivered by the application of law for the resolution of disputes that arise out of relationships. I remember when I was doing evidence, this one you can't forget. You have to memorize this particular quote. Justice is not a static concept. So it's beautiful. I mean, I've read it. I've not finished reading it, but I've read a few chapters, and I want to encourage all lawyers, and all law students to get a copy of this. And it will help you, So the number again is 0243 689 906, especially those writing the entrance exams and things like that. Let's come back here and look at the issues that we've tabled for our conversation this morning. And where is Greg? Okay, so Palestinians in northern Gaza on verge of famine. You are part of the mess, Alan tells Baumia Akufo-Addo to deliver SONA on February 27th. These are the topics that we've chosen for our conversation. Honorable ABF, let me start with you on the Gaza issue.
I think that we have dealt with this issue a number of times. And it seems the tragic nature of this matter still even cannot be lost on anyone. Even when I was coming this morning, I saw pictures of women and children, some of them dead, being carried as a result of heavy bombing in Rafah and other places, including refugee camps, Kwame, including Shifa Hospital, where they had positions, the Israeli regime had positioned snipers, Kwame, to be shooting people at a hospital. And they reported that some doctors who have braved this situation to continue to offer, sacrifice their lives to offer services to the people, have been shot dead. A number of doctors that have been killed. I mean, what is now happening is clearly a massacre. It's a genocide. It's very clear. Because I don't see how anybody would even go to hospitals, Kwame, to be shooting people at the hospital. Anybody within the sanctuary of a hospital will be seeking medical care. You may have battlefields and others in other places, but in hospitals, in refugee camps, God of mercy, what is happening? That's why many people think the world has lost its conscience. And the inability of a number of Western nations to speak is a dent on their human rights record. Because after these atrocious acts and acts of genocide that are going on, do you have the moral courage to go and criticize Russia? That Russia is doing what Ukraine? Can you open your mouth and say that when you go to UN Security Council and support these atrocious acts that are being committed by the Zionist regime? Why would you do that, Kwame? It doesn't make sense. And so I think that the current attempt to get the ceasefire and find some way of going around this horrible carnage that we are having in Gaza is a way forward. But Kwame, we don't need ceasefires that are only for a week, for 2 weeks, and then you come back and the killing of civilians even assumes more greater agency, dimension. We need an end to this criminal war. It's a war that has violated many international laws and conventions of the United Nations. And I think that so long as it continues to go on without the active attempts by the West, principally the United States, France and Britain, to bring the regime to order, it's an indictment on all the things that the United Nations has stood for. Kwame, as we speak, the thrust deeper into the enclaves of population, because when they fighting displaced a lot of about 1.5 million people from the north, they all ran to Rafah and others where there are huge concentrations of people. People think that about 1.8 million people are now crammed into this small place, and now bombing has also resumed in that area. So where do the people go? That's why many people say that there's no safe place in Gaza. Everywhere is a theater of war and conflict, and to fathom innocent women and children. The last statistics that was released, Kwame, more than 2/3 of the 23,000 casualties are women and children. The real men who are supposed to be on the battlefield that they should look for, you are not even here. You are hearing even of encounters between Hamas fighters and the Israeli soldiers. That is where the fight, if there was any fighting, that's where it should be, but not with the ordinary civilians who are there. And so, Kwame, I will just end on this note. You know, the International Court of Justice was supposed to make some interim ruling, which I think they did last week, to call on Israel to put a stop to the war that they are perpetrating against the Palestinians, because they could run the risk of perpetrating acts of genocide.
True.
So I know that the main thrust of the South African petition before the court was for them to determine that genocide has been committed in Palestine and particularly in Gaza. And so the International Court of Justice, people are awaiting the ruling of the International Court of Justice, even though many say that, look, it is a formality because the implementation will have to be done by the Security Council, which, of course, you know, the backers of Israel, principally the United States, may not allow UN Security Council resolution to be passed to seek that enforcement. But it is important that that signal is sent, if even for nothing, but for the record. Because when it was clear that genocide was committed against Jews by the Nazi regime in the run-up to the Second World War, Kwame, it has had some lasting impact on Germany today. Today, when they are talking about Jews, the Germans are among the first to try and rise to the occasion that they are supporting Israel, so that it doesn't create the impression that they have that thing at the back of their mind. So it is important, if not for anything, the symbolic thing that they are committing, the Israeli regime is committing genocide in Palestine, would go not only to indict them, but to put pressure on their backers to take a second look, put pressure on the United States to take away completely the armaments. Kwame, most of the 220 ton, I don't know what they call it, 20 ton or 200 ton bombs. Can you imagine dropping even a small bomb in the air? Now you are talking about 20 ton bombs in civilian areas. So these are things I think the backers of Israel must back off and cut off their arms and other financial support and push them to go for a long-term ceasefire that will end this criminal war and allow international legality to reign. So Kwame, so far I'm sure that this is what I can say for now.
All right. Comrade.
There's little more to say about the unconscionable world that we find ourselves in. That people would deliberately go and attempt to completely wipe out a certain group of people, and the world is watching as if no one cares. Time without number, I have insisted that the Africans, particularly, that are ignorantly following or supporting Israel, must be told that they are betraying our independence. Any African that has suffered colonialism, has suffered the ravages of slavery, has suffered apartheid, has suffered assimilation of one form or the other, and the indirect rule of the British in our continent, will appreciate what it means for some people who are landless to come and become occupiers, take your land, and then usurp everything that belongs to you. The people of Palestine will have the full support of the people of Africa, because what they are going through, we have been through. And we expect Africans, and that is why I clap and salute the South African government for its forthrightness in saying that, look, what you are going through, it is the Palestinian land that you are taking away. Let us fight for Palestinian rights. The likes of President Akufo-Addo and William Ruto will go down as some of the people who have betrayed the African cause and our African struggle for independence. That said, I also think that is unimaginable that the world, you know, I just can't imagine, Kwame, you killing people, right? Mm-hmm. Then at a certain point, you say that the people have run out of fuel. They have run out of water. They have run out of food. Consequently, you say that let's pause so that we can allow for fuel, we can allow for food, we can allow for water. After they have taken food and water, then you go back and you start killing them. This is madness at its apex. The UN and others who will negotiate that let's have a temporary truce so that, what do we call it, aid can get to the people, and after that you resume hostilities for the people to be bombarded and to be killed. Just allow them to be killed. Just allow them to be killed. If you cannot stop the war perpetually, because this madness coming from Israel should not be countenanced. It is sickening that the free world will allow such to perpetuate, and Israel is going on. And you know, the ICC and what it's doing, it appears to us that it is only Africans and Latin American countries that anytime there is an issue, they will come after us with the heavy-handedness. But when it involves Israel and other people, then you see that they don't do anything of that nature. Clearly, this is an attempt to wipe out the people of Palestine, but as the Palestinians themselves continue to say, it is their land or their lives. That whether it is from the sea, from the land, or from the air, Palestine shall be free. I think that it is time for the ICC to take bold step and to ensure that we are able to get that Israel is committing genocide, and we will try them in the manner that they have.
Free Palestine. Viva Palestine. Saga.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Kwame, thank
Quick
you
one,
very
quick one,
much.
quick one, quick one.
Let me now take this opportunity to greet my people. First of all, I take this opportunity to say good morning to the President, Nana Donko Akufo-Addo. And I also say good morning and salam alaikum to Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer and leader of the MPP.
That's right.
And let me also say good morning and salam alaikum to the Chief Imam and all Muslims on this Friday, as well as my co-panelists and your good self. Kwame.
Yes, sir.
You see, when it comes to this Palestinian problem, I think that the world has not been angry enough. I don't know whether for reasons known to a lot of people, whether because the United States of America is involved. You know, like I've always said, time and again, that I'm a fan of the United States, but it's as if it's about time that we call a spade a spade. The United States have outlived its usefulness. They simply have become a body that perpetrates injustice. And for me, I think that they have to be called out, a name for who they are. They always say that they have permanent interests and not permanent friends. But I think that if you perpetrate injustice against defenseless people, because this war is just a proxy war. I just cannot understand why we have international law. There's a group of people, the Palestine, backed by the Israelis, backed by the United States, who are throwing all the rules of international law to the dogs and are perpetrating unheard of hardship or untold hardship and genocide. What they are doing is more than genocide, is crime against humanity. And if it were some other leader or countries that were doing even half of what the Israelis were doing, you see the United States all over the place. I mean, for how long can or will the Palestine, the people of Palestine, be subjugated, be tortured? Now it's as if the end game is that they are aiming at a total alienation, the total extermination of the Palestinian people. It doesn't make sense. And we come and then we condemn and it doesn't go anywhere. those who will take action are not taking action. People are dying. Now today, if maybe these Palestinians decide that, because they are being killed every now and then, if one decide that, let me put bomb on myself and then go and die anyway, and also kill people, will anybody call them terrorists? So I think that now the world has come to understand that you cannot call somebody who is fighting for his right a terrorist. And especially when the people are being pushed to the wall and there is no end in sight. In this whole madness, there seems not to be an end in sight. It's a never-ending circle of torture that has been vested on the Palestinian people. And I think leaders of this world must wake up from their slumber. They seem not to be leaders at all. Everybody is either, indulging the United States for their economic reasons. And look at the UK. UK, for instance, I mean, in history, they were one of the countries that actually sacked the Israelis from the UK. They sacked them. And one will ask, why is it that anywhere Israel goes, the people want to see their back? Everywhere. I mean, they were sacked from Europe. In Spain, they were sacked. Everywhere they were sacked. Why is it so? And now the Palestinians embrace you because they were thinking they are brothers. Then you came and now you are driving them. You are not just driving them away. You are killing. You want to finish them off and take their land. And then you have some leaders in the world who are just all over the place, And for me, I mean, this is where new breed of leadership would emerge. Because in crisis like this, that's where, and I'm very proud of what is happening, what the South Africans are doing. It's like almost everybody is asleep. And South Africa, knowing what they went through in apartheid, decided that no, it's not just enough to say that we condemn. Action has to be taken, and they are taking action. And I just hope that the world will take action, and the United States is continually becoming irrelevant by the day, and ebbing into itself enemies. I used to be a fan, and I'm no longer a fan, owing to this reason. And I think that applies to a whole lot of other people. Not just that. Palestinians are also human beings. They have the right to live in their own land. And they are not saying the Israelis should not live. Israel should not live. They are saying that, live and let me live. We want to live side by side. The Palestinian state and the Israeli state. I mean, when when they were giving Israel the land, I mean, they were just some small portion for them to settle when they were driven away from Europe and other places. And now they are saying that, become a state, and let also become a state. In 1985, there were all manner of accords. And they said that by 1988, the Palestinians should have been given their own state. The Israelis ensured that it never come to fruition. And that was one of the reasons why Yasser Arafat was killed. When it came to borders and security, they ensured that they moved the security from internal to the borders. And they did not ensure, they did not follow through the protocols. And today, the Palestinians are being treated like second-class human beings. And indeed, they even call them animals. You remember when this war started? The Israelis, what's the name? The Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, called them human animals. And I think that to allow these people to, at this point, like you're saying, now the problem is becoming hard-headed, is becoming so complex. It's not just the shooting alone. They are dying out of hunger and starvation. There's famine, like the newspapers, and a whole manner of things that is happening to the people of Palestine. And it is calculated by the Israelis. The results or the end or the effect of this whole thing is to ensure that at the end of the day, the Palestinians themselves will run away from Palestine. But I think that with Allah and God at the side of Palestine, the ambition and this inordinate desire to see the total annihilation and extermination of Palestine will never happen.
Thank you very much, Saka Salia. You're still watching the News Review segment here on Pan-African Television with me, Kwame Usudan. So let me still start with Saka on the next story. Dr. Bahubizi. His lecture, the aftermath of the lecture, what people have been saying, what do you have to say? Is he just a driver's mate, or he is part of the failings of the driver? Saka.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Kwame. I'm coming. I want to okay. First of all, Kwame, let's Kwame. Oh, Kwame, I think that you should listen to me. You see, when I'm talking, you are somewhere. It makes the whole thing.
No, sorry. I thought you were.
Yeah, it makes the whole thing. It makes your thoughts not.
No. I thought you were looking for a document.
No. I mean, the first topic.
Yes, please proceed.
You did the same. Second, you want to do the same.
Proceed.
It's not good. First of all, let me say that Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, when it comes to the vice presidency position, unless maybe somebody want to do the unthinkable by arguing with me on this matter, in terms of the vice presidential ticket or position, he has been the most impactful vice president, most active, most impactful, the vice president that has achieved more than any other vice president in our Fourth Republic in terms of achievement. We've seen Akar, we've seen Aliu Mama, we've seen John Mama, we've seen Bawumia. And if he can be impactful, the most impactful vice president in the history of the Fourth Republic, it presupposes, I mean, it goes without saying that he will definitely be the most impactful president in the Fourth Republic, given the opportunity. He outlined his vision 2 days ago. And the vision he outlined was about himself as a person, as a president. He did not just go and start saying that, he's not a team player. No. If you listen to them, because I will preempt certain things that I know Alhaji ABF Hussein and Benamona might want to say.
Are you in my head?
Yeah, I'm in your head. Yeah, I'm in your head. I'll preempt all those things. You see, if you listen very careful, the vice president as the vice president of Ghana deputized for his boss. And therefore, if you look at Article 58, or 58, 57, 2, and all that, the president is the take president over everybody. The president is the final decision maker. And as economic management team, we all know, I mean, if you look at, there is nowhere in the constitution that there is anything like economic management, and that it should be the preserve of the vice president. It is the president that decides that, okay, let me use my vice president to help, give advisory order within a certain framework, like economic management team and all those things. What the constitution talk about is about the cabinet and all that. So the vice president as the chairman of the economic management team is advisory. For instance, even the finance ministry position, we all know that the finance minister is in charge of the economy. But even that one, the finance minister does so on behalf of the president. You remember when we wanted to go to HIPIC, the IMF, the finance minister said that we were not going to IMF today, we won't go tomorrow. The next time, the president vetoed. He said, let's go to the IMF today. And it was announced. Because whatever that you see as vice president, you have your vision, your president has your vision. You only come in handy to help the president achieve his vision. Today, Kwame, no matter this team that you work with here in Pan Africa TV, you work with them. There are certain things, maybe you are not the boss. Tomorrow, if you become the boss, there are certain things that you might change. You might not necessarily have to go with whatever that you are doing today, because you will be in charge, and therefore you might decide to change certain things. The vice president is carrying with the vision of the president. The president's vision is what, or his mandate is what the vice president is helping to carry. And now he is giving his own vision. And his vision might not necessarily conform with that of the president. And I am even shocked that when the vice president is giving his vision, some people are saying that then it means that you like what is even before us. That then it means that you are running away from the problems of this government. He's not running away from the problem. When he started, he gave all the achievements of this government, where we took from John Dramani Mahama, the improvement that we brought in as a government, and where after COVID-19 that devastated the whole world, not only Ghana. Ghana is not an exception. There is no government in history in Ghana or in the world that has not felt the economic devastation of COVID-19. No country. And IMF itself has come out to say that almost they have helped almost the whole world, and half of the world is with them, is with the IMF for support. That's what the IMF is. They say half of the world is with the IMF for support. So Ghana is not an exception. So but Bawumia outlined his vision. And it's not even just the manifesto. And just imagine somebody who is in power and a very busy person, he's able to outline his vision. And if you look at those things, the 70-point vision that is espoused, it's so innovative. It tells you that this is somebody who thinks outside the box. And if you just oppose that one with the opposition, that has less to think about and what they are doing, go around saying that, oh, I will bring back Okada. Oh, when I come, I will give Akoko to you. When he lay eggs, then you sell the eggs. If the eggs finish, then you sell them. I mean, can you imagine such mundane promises, completely within the box? And Bawumia comes to say that for me, there are traditional things that we have been doing over the years, and with hindsight, and given the opportunity, I will ensure that, for instance, the number of ministers, because because of team players, because of cohesion in government and whatever, Bawumia even has his misgiving about the number of ministers that we currently have or that we used to have. He might say it, he might tell his president, and then the president might say, oh, no, I think this way, and therefore the final decision rest in me, and for that matter, I will go with my vision. If there is a failure, they won't come and say Bawumia government. They will say Nana-Addo government and all those things. So there was a good reason why Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo also decided that he will have a relatively large number of ministers and all those things. But Bawumia says, in reading and taking into consideration the experience he has gained working with Nana-Addo, he says that for him, 50 ministers and deputies will be okay for his government. And I heard your mama also say that he is also going for 60. So that is number one. This is a candidate that says that in terms of taxation, he's going to make it a flat rate for everybody because of the cumbersome nature of the current situation, where even people evade tax here and there. Because of the cumbersome nature of it and all that. And we all know that apart from all things, one reason is about the tax net. We, as a nation, have allowed only few people to pay tax. And therefore, Bawumia is talking about ensuring that we broaden the tax net. He has talked 70 different visions. 70. And for me, I mean, I don't want to bore anybody. But if maybe if maybe you permit me, I can go through them. But the most important thing is that as a nation, we need the likes of Bawumia. We need somebody who has shown that he has been in office, he has learned from the office. For instance, with his digitalization drive, with his knowledge as an economist. For instance, people say that, for him to say that he's removing e-levies, the emission taxes and all those things, it means that the Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government did not think through it and all those things. Do you remember the Okada Act? The act that outlawed Okada was promulgated under John Dramani Mahama. But now he's saying that he's also removing it. So, and do you remember John Mahama talking about 24 hours? He said that is not a policy. When he said 24 hours, it's not a policy. It is a consequence of a policy. Because, I mean, the duration that we use to work, like, for instance, you remember when there were a lot of fire, when there was a lot of burnings in our markets. John Dramani Mahama went abroad and brought some United States people to come and study the situation and give advice. When they came, they analyzed and then they said that it was icing, and therefore they professed certain solutions and all that. Do you know what your mama did? He said that by 6 o'clock, if you are Okaishi or Makola, they should lock the market. So somebody who is now professing 24 hours was the one who professed that 6 o'clock, if you are in the Makola market or anywhere near there, you should lock Abubuloshi market. They should lock the market and all that. And they have been locking the market since then. But he said that he has changed his mind. If you look at the thought-through policy that Bawumia brought, and just suppose it with the mundane, the not too serious policies, like when I come, I will abolish licensor exams, when indeed it was promulgated during your time. You see? And if this is not hypocrisy, you cannot come and tell us. When John Dramani Mahama took over from Professor Mills, did he continue with all the visions of Professor Mills? Yeah, he had his own vision. And he took through. He had to go through his own vision. And I'm saying that whoever, no matter who you are, if you are deputizing for somebody, unless maybe it's a constitutional imperative that says that this is what you should do, And if you look at Bawumia and the work that his boss, the president, gave him, he ensured that he live up to that work and achieve results in the digitalization drive. And that ensured that corruption has been nipped, not just have been reduced to significantly. And we are not saying that maybe corruption has completely gone, but at least what he did has significantly, reduced corruption, because now there is no interface in most cases. If you go to the port, if you go to other places, the passport office and all those things. He mentioned all these things. And I think that we need a leader of such visionary character, not just somebody who will just look at the people and say, okay, what can I say so that I will get vote? Then I'll say that, oh, when I come, I will ensure that Okada flourish and all those things. I think that Bawumia, at this propitious moment of our history, is the kind of person that Ghana needs.
Very well, thank you very much. Saka Salia has explained to us why he thinks Dr. Bawumia is the surest bet for Ghana. Comrade Benamona, let's come to you.
I listened to the Vice President and the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, when he delivered his maiden speech. I'm not sure it was a lecture. It was the vision of a potential president that he delivered. In that delivery, I got 3 takeaways. A man who is desperate, a man who will betray his boss, a man who was chameleonic in nature. By being chameleonic, this is a vice president who President Akufo-Addo was made to believe is an economic wizard, and that he contained, in fact, one of the president's statements, he said that Bawumia ewiasi nyansa nyina ekitano. Or see, or the 43 achievements Ediaba, and brought a paper. That is the chameleonic nature that the vice president made Akufo-Addo to believe that as far as the economic problems of this country are concerned, he, more than anybody, could be the panacea. You appointed the vice president on the belief that you will fix whatever economic challenges or mess that was left for you. You come and the economy has run amok. And Elijah Kipo Bakari put it in a more succinct way. He said, you've been appointed head of economics department. Then your students are failing. You somersault and say that you've been able to procure computers. So your students, even though they are failing economics, they are doing well in computers. Are you the head of ICT? Are you the head of ICT? And so the vice president checks his responsibility and the reason for which he was made a vice president. The economy is vanquished. And then you turn out, you are talking about the digitalization. Kwame, digitalization. The vice president created this phone. The phones, the vice president created them. Computers, the vice president created them. The softwares, did the vice president create them? The internet, did the vice president create them? So you are only a beneficiary. You are only a beneficiary of products, because there is no place where the vice president has created any phone, any gadget. So where is this digitalization prowess from? Need I remind you that not long ago, Edward Kojo Salia was Minister for Transport and Communication. It was under his watch as Minister for Transport and Communication that we started the liberalization of the telecom sector. That was the time that people like Tony Yabua would tell you, pick, it used to be like cassava stick. They would be there and say, Mijina Bointing, and I make say, Mobitel. You remember Mobitel? Now it is what? Airtel Tigo. That was the time. The vice president was the one who brought it. You see, I mentioned what? Edward Kojo Salia. I didn't mention Atta Mills, who was vice president, or the president, Jerry John Rawlings. I didn't. We are talking about ministers. This is in the bosom of ministers. Then, of course, John Mahama as deputy to Spio Gabra, it was under their watch that MTN, then Space Phone, came into the scene. Then from Space Phone, it went to Space Phone Ariba to Ariba, now MTN. Then One Touch came. And One Touch came from Ghana Telecom. Those days, to obtain a One Touch SIM, you needed to go and register.
The telecom had a card.
You understand? You have to register for a month or so. Then the card will be delivered. That one, you even have to get protocol for it.
Expensive.
Yes. I bought my SIM that I still use as a student discount of 360,000. Yeah. That is today 36 Ghana cedis.
My uncle bought it for 1 million.
Do you understand what we're talking about here? SIM card. That is how much we used to buy it. It tells you that the SIM was everything. Today, the SIM is given to people for free. The data and the voice is the most important thing. The vice president did not bring these changes. When I was working for Internal Revenue, that Saka is very much aware of, we were using manual typewriter, A wahin, B wahin. Then we moved to the electronic typewriters. Then we moved to the computer desktop, where you used to have floppy disks and what have you. Today, things have moved, not by the powers of the vice president, because technology is changing. Why is the vice president behaving like the way we say it? Do you understand what I mean? Somebody has gone to shit his physics, then you go and sit by it and say you are the one who has done it. Why is the vice president behaving that way? Look, in 2006 when I was in Kenya, living in Kenya, M-Pesa was in operation. They were already transferring money. This issue of mobile money transfers and what have you started from Kenya, from students. They were already doing it. Why is the vice president doing as if it is something monumental that he has done? Do you remember Haruna Idrisu when he was doing the mobile money interoperability? Do you remember the fiber optics that Haruna Idrisu laid? Do you remember Manembwama and then the centers that they established? All these things, we are talking about ministers' jobs. That was Vice President Bawumia. So Oslo also has done no work. Everything that has been done, the Vice President takes over and say that I am the one who have done this. Really? Really? How mediocre can you be in these things? Now, the Vice President come to say that I am the most achieved Vice President. I am the most achieved Vice President. In what capacity? President Akufo-Addo is not the most achieved president. And you are the most achieved Vice President. What it means is that you are picking above your boss. That is what I talk about, the betrayal. You look at the things that the Vice President did. He took what was positive and credited it to himself. Akufo-Addo did say. Then he realized that there is a lack. He says, no, I stay away from it. Now, the Vice President spoke about GDP growth rate. And I am a development economist. And all the time I talk about this, that anytime you are talking about economic growth, that economic growth must be measured with the development in town. Not the impoverishment or the poverty that growth has yielded. But all the economic growth that we have chalked has yielded poverty amongst our people, not development amongst our people. So it means that we don't own the commanding heights, the sectors of the economy. Kwame, it is in this studio that I made the point, and let me reiterate, that if you take the telecom sector alone, all the service providers, none of them is owned by Ghana. Airtel, Tigo, Glo, MTN, and Vodafone, none.
No, but Ghana is Vodafone. Ghana has shares.
Yeah, we have shares, but we don't have the majority shares.
We have 30%.
70-30.
That's what I'm saying. No, we don't have the majority
so
shares.
Do you own it?
You don't own it.
I'm talking about ownership, commanding heights.
We don't own it.
You don't own it.
Having 30% shares, you're not even a majority shareholder.
You are not near. So, you see, clearly. So when MTN, today is Friday, go to the airport, you see a plane branded MTN.
Yellow.
What is it coming to take? It's coming to collect dollars. To fly the money. The money has been calculated as part of Ghana's GDP. Vodafone will come and collect DS. Glo will come and take DS. So when you calculate that GDP now, the next moment that GDP is taken by its true owners and is gone. You are left with nothing. How could any real economist, mindful of development, be using GDP as an indicator of the health of your nation's economy when you do not control that GDP? And for instance, he said that the GDP growth that he was talking about from 2017 to, you can go to paragraph 17 or 16, 17 of the vice president's speech, that GDP was propelled by the GDP growth in agriculture. Kwame, agriculture has grown so much that there is abundance of food, and Kenge price has run into the roof from 1 cedi to 5 cedi. It tells clearly that that GDP, the productivity, the agricultural productivity in your country, you don't own it. Do I take you to a location? Just go through Ejurat Road, the Mampon Road, and you see large tracts of land, farms. They are owned by the Indians, they are owned by the Chinese, they are producing, they are processing, and they are taking the things they have processed away. Do you understand? Yet you will factor that as part of your agricultural growth. When you finish, you realize that Charlie, food no day tabletop. So food no day tabletop. How could any real economist, a development oriented economist, be talking about something that you know does not impact on development but impacts on poverty? So anytime our GDP is growing, we see that our people are getting poorer and poorer. How come the GDP is growing then unemployment is on the high? Because the economy is supposed to be booming, and therefore there should be more jobs. You get what I mean? Take the vice president and correlate what I'm saying with the speech he made. It doesn't sync at all. Now the vice president comes to say, look, we need to have a new approach to sports and sports development. I agree. In the end, the vice president said that he's going to establish a national sports secretariat. You believe in duplicity of functions and institutions. We already have a national sports authority.
That is correct.
Do you understand? You already have a national sports authority. If it is not functioning for purpose, you tool it to function for purpose. If you are going to bring a national sports authority or secretariat, what about the national sports authority that is backed by law? So you are going to create another parallel structure, and it's not going to yield any benefit. Look, we need to have a holistic look at some of these things. Now, I come to a very exciting part of the vice president's speech. The vice president, instead of admitting that, look, as the one who is the most achieved vice president, I failed you. I failed you because I imposed taxes by using English language. But the same thing. Kwame, check your petroleum price build-up now. You know the taxes that are on it? We have one of the taxes, sanitation and pollution tax. What do you understand by pollution? When you are going to buy fuel, as soon as you are buying the fuel, you already pay for pollution of the air. Because when you take the fuel, in consuming the fuel, there will be the exhaust. Not so, you emit. So you have already paid for what they are now introducing as emission tax. I mean, you get it? The vice president is part of the people that formulated the pollution tax, and today is part of the people that formulated the emission tax. One particular thing, I'm going to buy petrol. When I put the petrol in my motorbike, the motorbike in consuming the fuel will burn. And then there will be the, what do we call it? How do the Chui call it? Nyoha. In English, in Wale, Dagari, we call it Nyoha. In Wusie. When I'm using my motorbike, the Wusie will come out. Because of that, you have already made me to pay pollution tax. Now when I'm using it, then you say that because I'm using the motorbike and the thing is coming out, pay emission tax. What kind of nation are we? Is it not the same vice president who expanded the president's pronouncement that we are going to move away from taxation to production? So pollution tax and emission tax is production. It's production. So admit that you have been part of formulating wrong economic policies, and that on hindsight you want to remove them. But why do you want to remove them when we vote for you to become president? And why don't you tell your president, because you are the most achieved vice president according to your standard, why don't you get it removed now? Because President Akufo-Addo have achieved nothing. Everything done under this government is you. So therefore, you have the capacity to ameliorate our worsening condition now. Why do you want that in 2025? We should suffer it now. In 2025, you come and remove it. Why? Then the almighty electronic levy.
Can you end on it for me?
No, I will end on free SHS.
Okay.
The almighty electronic levy. What did they say? When we said that, Mr. Vice President, prior to this, you had spoken about taxes on Momo. But they are bringing a tax on Momo. You have been quiet. Kojo Opon Nkrumah came and told us that the Vice President drafted the e-levy bill, and that it was under his instrumentality that the 100 CD threshold was introduced so that poor people will not suffer it. Then John Gwedu, who was then General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, comes out to say that he can tell us on authority that the Vice President was fully involved in the formulation of electronic transfers levies. If you have seen that the thing is wrong and is impacting negatively on the people, scrap it now. Why do you want to scrap it when we vote for you in 2024? Why?
He doesn't have the power to scrap it.
Oh, but he has the power to formulate it.
You had the video that was going around. You had the video that was going around. Yeah,
He's interjecting.
He
He has the power to formulate. He has the power to write the
He
bill.
formulated. He never formulated.
Why? Kojo Opon Nkrumah said it. He never said.
formulated
Let's
it.
have order, please.
Yeah, he never formulated it.
Saka.
Go on.
Bahayala na erana.
I say he never formulated it.
You
He
go-
was against it.
You go to
Didn't you
cabinet.
see the video that he
You go
was
to
against
cabinet.
it?
You go to cabinet.
Didn't you see the video that he
John
was
Gwedu
speaking against
attends
it?
cabinet, and cabinet decisions is
I
what
said
John
he
Gwedu
never
do.
formulated.
You would have never attended cabinet. People who have attended cabinet say that is the vice president who is the brainchild of e-levy. Then you are sitting here saying
He
he has
never
not
did
formulated.
that. And besides,
You
he
have
said
been
that
there.
it is
Please,
going.
please stop.
Okay, let's make it.
So this is what you are saying. Double standards. Finally, when free SHS was touted as a Akufo-Addo policy, which I said that I attended school free, so it couldn't have been Akufo-Addo. The Constitution, Article 25, ABC, is evident that free SHS is captured. If you go to Article 38 of the Constitution, the directive principle of state policy, since you are a lawyer in making, it tells you what it is about. Akufo-Addo comes to take our constitutional provision and says that he's the one bringing it. Granted, he's the one bringing it. When he started, we said that this thing is fraught with challenges. We need to review it. You said, no. Review means cancellation. Did you hear what the vice president? He is going to improve upon it. You understand English. If you don't review, can you improve?
You can't improve.
If you don't review, can you improve? Where is this?
Review is not a bad thing.
Where is this chicanery coming from? No, where is this chicanery coming from? Where is this chicanery from? I just don't get it.
You review to know the status of it. You don't
because you just don't get up and say, I'm going to improve something when you have not identified what the challenges are. So you have to do a review, understand what the real challenges are, then you can move forward to say that on the basis of A, B, C, D, this is how it should go so that there will be improvement.
Bernard, thank you. Honorable Ebifuseni.
Yeah. See, when a liar kisses you, you must be in a hurry to count your teeth. As for an embrace from a liar, not only should you be fast to extricate yourself, you need to go and bath and purify yourself. That is what Bawumia has meant for us today. Kwame. And so I've been surprised that many people are accusing Dr. Bawumia of lying. Kwame, a born liar. How do you accuse? In fact, to accuse a liar of lying is like accusing a dog of barking. It comes naturally. So those who don't know, I am telling you without any iota of that. And that's why I said it simply that, Kwame, if even Dr. Bawumia meets you and gives you good morning, look at the position of the sun before you respond. Even the weather can lie against the weather. Not to talk about even mundane things. Kwame, before I go into the real issues, I just wanted to correct some things Saka has said. And some of them, they have lived their youthfulness. Just see same old, tired, loose talk of saying that which country in the world has not experienced things from COVID. And
No, we have 6 minutes.
Oh, Kwame, you can't give me 6 minutes. Kwame, you gave them in double digits.
1 minute.
Kwame, you gave them in double digits, and you are going to give me 6 minutes.
Okay, go on.
Kwame, I know we are going to be unfair to me.
Okay, 10.
You see, so Kwame,
It's actually 10. I deliberately said 6 so that he will.
Kwame, you see that the even neighboring here, Cote d'Ivoire, others, well, they are not affected by
It
COVID.
affected them.
Kwame, they are operating single-digit inflation.
Yeah, from one.
All of them.
From
My brother,
1 to 7.
don't heckle me.
Yes.
Kwame,
From 1
Kwame,
to
you see what
7.
you do.
Saka,
You see what you do.
let's not do this.
Deliberately to offset
Yes,
what I'm saying.
You were so quiet when you were.
They even went to.
When you were
collect money
speaking,
from IMF.
did I open your mouth?
Okay, you do not.
Shut up.
I hear you.
Kwame, they are operating single-digit inflation. They are operating under single-digit deficits. Kwame, their economies are under growth. Well, the West economic growth we experienced under the MPP 0.4, they were growing 2-3%. So it comes down to the quality of your economic management. And so, Kwame, I think that those things are just mundane things that don't talk about. Now, Kwame, let me come to the substantive issues.
What
Kwame,
about this one?
I want to appeal to Ghanaians. Kwame, and Ghanaians who are listening to me must listen with rapt attention. We are in a very serious business of choosing a leader who will steer the affairs of this country from the hopelessly incompetent management under the MPP, government of Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia, to one that will rescue the people of this country and wipe away their tears. So one of the most important elements that we must look for in the leader, Kwame, is trust. You must be able to trust the leader that we are going to choose on the 7th of December 2024. Because without trust, that leader is just going to ride on our backs to power and sink us into deeper throes of misery and poverty. Kwame, it has already become abundantly clear that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and you can go and Google about him and see what will come up. The accomplished lies that he has told, Kwame, has given him a huge credibility deficit. Nobody can trust his word. And in fact, before he even started this talk, many people said, oh, this man, what he is going to say is the same plethora of lies that he unleashed in the run-up to 2016. So even before he started speaking, people did not even believe him. And when he spoke, yes, when you see a snake lying before you, you don't hire a consultant, you kill it. So the people saw in him clearly that he's not a trustworthy, honest, credible person. So, Kwame, the trust is not there. Then, Kwame, come and look at even loyalty to his own government. He has thrown Nana Akufo-Addo under the bus. The bus will run over him like nobody's business. You disfigure him. Kwame, you see that he is running away from the economic mess, the catastrophic mismanagement of the economy. He is running away. Nana Akufo-Addo said in the run-up to the 2016 election that he was bringing Dr. Bawumia because of his economic acumen. He had a magic wand to wave away our economic problems. And so as vice president, he was going to take charge of the economic management team. Kwame, I'm sure you can remember. When he came, you were saying, Jan Bafo, Osafu Mafo, who, including himself. What a mighty, competent economic management team. You remember that? To take charge of the economy. That is the most demonstrable fact that today he's seeking to parade himself as an appliqué. That he had no role. He's a appliqué driver mate. Nana Akufo-Addo didn't give him any serious role to play. And that he was sidelined.
Is that what he said?
And that, yes, he didn't go in and say that they treated him as a mate.
How did he achieve all the things
that the advice that he gave, you yourself, you just even said it here. That some of the advice that they gave, they were not about to take it. That's what you said here. But he was given that mantle. That's what I'm saying, that the disloyalty he's demonstrating to Nana Akufo-Addo today, it shows clearly that he would treat Ghanaians even worse. Because one of the things I thought he would have done was this opportunity to address the nation would have been first, Kwame, to show remorse. Two, to show deep regret, and perhaps even of some typical politicians of his ilk, to shed some few tears. That this is a sad moment for me coming back to you. After promising you that I was going to transform your lives to the better, I couldn't do it. I'm very sorry, and wipe away a few tears. Kwame, and render an unqualified apology to Ghanaians for running the country to such sorry depths of misery, subjecting the lives of the people to unprecedented suffering and hardship. Kwame, this is the first thing he should have done. So for me, the fact that he had the effrontery to even come and say, give us more promises. Kwame, you are holding power. When you hold power, you don't make promises. You act. For the past 8 years, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Nana Akufo-Addo and others have been holding power. They have no right. It's an insult to Ghanaians for them to be holding power and coming to us, giving us promises. Kwame, if you are in opposition and you are making promises, it's different. Because you don't hold power. Okay, Kwame? You don't hold power and make promises while you are still holding the mantle of office. Promises are in the realm of opposition because they don't have the power to do those things that they are talking about. Okay? So, Kwame, there is absolutely no excuse for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to come and tell us today that when he comes, he's going to abolish Momo tax, emission tax. Kwame, it's hope wash. It's hogwash. You are holding the power. You, in fact, like Bernard said, my colleague Kojo Kwankuma indicated clearly, he was instrumental in the crafting of the Momo tax. And then he comes and tells us that Anybody who wants to tax Momo is anti-poor people. So by extension, you are telling us that even you yourself, you are anti-people. Because you were instrumental in the crafting of the Momo tax. And Kwame, I hear this thing and I get amazed that he made certain suggestions like policy and others and they were not taken. Kwame, any principled person on the face of this earth, haven't you heard even prime ministers and others resigning? On point of differences on policy and principle, when you make it and your leader does not take it, you resign. So that tomorrow, everybody will bear eloquent testimony to the fact that when you said, this is the way to go, and they said, that's not the way, I said, fine, I will depart. So that today, if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had come and told us that, I didn't want Momo, the President Akufo-Addo forced Momo. And so today, I disagreed with him and then I resigned. Today, if he had come to say that when he comes, you abolish Momo, many people would have taken him serious. Yeah. But you sit tight and enjoy all the pranks of government, even participate in even bringing out dubious Japa deals and others which robbed us of billions of Ghana cedis. And this Japa, it was the vice president's old creation, transferring it from a bank guarantee to insurance guarantee, and then from condition precedent to condition subsequent. Corrupt acts by the vice president. So, Kwame, you see that in all phases of this that we are talking about, basically, Dr. Bawumia has full responsibility. Kwame, why do people even enunciate the doctrine of collective responsibility? That if you are part of the system, and the system goes wrong, or something happens to you, all of you inside who participated in the policy are collectively responsible.
They said it's a parliamentary system of governance that uses that.
No,
when you read it, it's actually something that.
Let me tell you why I disagree with that.
Well, yes. This morning actually, I did a little research.
Yes, yeah, I know what you are saying.
Different facets of it.
I know the parliamentary system where the prime minister as head of government.
Yes, so yes.
But Kwame, even in the presidential system where the president is a sole executive and is said to hire all other people to, if he gives you a responsibility, a schedule to tackle, and that fails, you are as responsible as the president. It's only that ultimate responsibility comes back to the president. But as a participant in that exercise, you are collectively responsible. So it's just that if you want to find an individual at the end of the day to single out and lay all the decisions on him, yes, ultimately is the president.
So you're not looking at the political definition of it, you're looking at the legal definition of it.
I'm saying that I'm just looking at this commonsensical.
Yes. That also.
If I made you a manager of my company, okay, and you succeed, will you take credit? Will I give you credit for it or not?
You will.
If I made you the manager and you fail, are you partly responsible or you are not?
I am.
Yes. So there is some responsibility. You cannot run away from that responsibility. Kwame. So absolutely, that's why I said I've said up an issue that the issue of credibility for us matters, is at the center of this election that we are going to. Somebody who has died in the market, Kwame, we don't need to announce his demise.
Well, thank you
it's
very
very clear to us that Ghanaians know who Dr. Bawumia is.
Thank you.
When he speaks.
ThanThank you.
Ghanaians know who President Mahama is when he speaks.
Thank you.
And so there is no iota of doubt.
Thank you.
That in this particular race that we're going,
thank you.
Credibility and trust is at the center of the decision Ghanaians will make. And when it comes to that, there are no qualms about it.
Thank you. Dispensing Justice in Society will be launched on the 22nd of February at the High Court Complex Auditorium at exactly 2 p.m. I'll be moderating the launch, and definitely I want all of you to be there. It's 10 o'clock. It means the next show is up. Thank you, Saka.
Kwame, you have not been fair. Kwame, you have not been fair to me. Among all of them, I was speaking the list.
No,
it's true.
You spoke for 10 minutes.
No, Kwame. They spoke more than 15 people. No, I'm telling you, Kwame, no.
They didn't.
Kwame,
hold on.
I have so many things.
But I'm gonna speak at 9:40. Finish at 9:40.
I have so many things. Look, the plethora of lies Dr. Bawumia told to Ghana.
Give her 1 minute.
I will see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.
Sorry, I just wanted you to see some of the things that this man said.
You,
Truly African.
Week 3 of the Pasha lockdown, and we have been told that in our markets we are not observing the social distancing rule. That is the directive by the president that we should observe a safe distance between ourselves and the next person. Because of that, the La Nkwantanan Medina Municipal Assembly has directed that the Medina main markets be closed. Presently, this evening, I am here at the Medina main market, and we are here to find out if indeed, if this market has been closed, and if the directive for all the small markets in the enclave to join at the Boshe market is being followed. We want to know if the people in this market appreciate the need for social distancing and its effect on us fighting this pandemic going forward. This is Medina Markets. Come with me.
It's incredible! Bang on target!
Madam, good evening.
Evening.
Pacho, ahaya na otonwade.
Acha ahaya na metonwade.
Pacho, market see you close na na meboa.
Mo close no. Nanso ama enwumle we ama saben na so mo close no chena enwumle yo mo close nti o chena maye makula. Yeso ye woni ama obi wo a nyama ye ton bia ne se ne fiti da no de we ye ntahwe. Ne ma ne nyina esi wo esai. Ni nya so scan ye de to esi so nyama no ba kofa na ne boa ye den. O ma tutu. Nyama no boa ye den na ye kofa ne abeto o na sa asai a ye be ye den nti o mu close no kwa. Ye be ye so ye didi. Ye nyama so ye ton. Ye be ye den ye didi. Iti close no mu close no kwa de enya kula. O so mu so hwe ye so ye kitankwala. Ye kitankwala e be ma moduane. Nyama so ne boya den. Ti se nyama ni nyina sisi wo. O mu se ye close o mu close ni atenefia. Ye be den ye didi. O so mu hwe bibi no mo ye fa ho mai.
Okay. Yen kan baako. Iti ye close ni da.
Ma close.
You close ye no. Still na oba.
Na me. Enya de bia na mba me ba Saturday no ne we na mba ye.
see I see ene. Yes, I be closing ene.
Some be closing enyumle. Kra obi am enti fiti ochina ko dem obi am ba kra sa no mo ka.
Inti no ubeba.
Ti say me ti me ma. Me so me nyama gu o say because say so ba ye chiwa omodo obeko police station. Ya be boka. Inti say ye nyama so gu o say.
Okay, now what say I see the entire see a closing market? I didn't see a closing market.
Matia say minimum the entire close because of your arena happening. And no move close. Almost see my discount in lion them. On my chicha, last week, maybe more market of my FM nature, or maybe more corn, or maybe more bahano. It is like how much a chamaye, nay, now, built Tanano bitana. I have fine say, or move close. It's the say. Because of your learning to more boy and mobile, and no be because of your arena or mobile metias because a chimney I mean him, the American clan menian, and to me some area. But I was some with Mission Maye, so more person to cry at the hand.
Okay, but I didn't observe social distance, no. I didn't know to me observe social distance because markets can be a territory linear. I didn't know more space, no, embem.
And send there and enter America say, I was almost Shamae, no more better Chama, and I say, Omobama and Tiasan Womaye, do my because yet the party, me met Matthias, who met Matthias to do on Tiasia. What I say, Obi or Probata, the Crocus Uncle Chica, on no Felice, Obet now and Chinchina and not your non piano. Why am I? It's an honest Omoba church lay. So I be a minia, than say, and say, and no one may Felice, a better. I'm closing it down again.
Medasi bebre. Let's walk around. Yeah, Nancy Fem Kaka. Let's walk around, guys. Hello, madam.
Yes.
Madam, good evening.
Good evening.
Madam, what's on there?
I'm a tongue patch in toast.
Madam, I can see you close to him.
Me patch on meaning pa.
So what's on there?
There be a close here, Miss Nafie. Member market. Now I come with him was 52 weeks now. I'm closing. Meet Nafie, sir. And not pen a minimum now because you are pure. I come with the enemy by a new pure bashay. You got top pure and how much you fit on pa. Two, I found on my belly. What's the answer?
Mamma, what's any action?
Yachi Bakunye. Bakuno Siapio and is comfortable. Yachi about Medina police station. Fitano passes up on my belly. Musi ended then. Then I'm Musa Betty and I go back on noon.
What's it?
Yet you are traffic, Mahaya. If it's a comedy, more player than about the entry. Yet I feel 2 weeks and not penny up here. Yet you so my better to comedy. Yet by Yachi, Sisia on my belly. Sisia, I don't know Musi.
Mana, what's your say the entire yet to marketing?
Yamusi Araba. Yet you are fine. Musi Araba, Musumu, if you say yes to Yantium. But Muyo Bia, I can't tell Musi Yantanademu. Who baby say, ya near to my papa, Naya, free Yama, at Tonaya, Popusia, at Tom Yaman. But what's that new baby say so? Yeah, Sisaya Crotier, Yabeya, Etia, Lonica, and I bear identity. Naka Bibia, Nakamuni Abeka. But I didn't say one catches what's the young quarter yet the sun and Nelchi and Kuka come with Mosi and Kakamusa, then I must end. Then I must see Medisi as a monk of Boshaman. Young coin for what's a nomology? Madam, because of that, and I buy a stop a blow my reaction for we are stop a blade. Yanyama one. My area, Yaman, no area, starting in a Pasha, on my says and proposed area. Cannot be a grandma closer, not just Yaman, I ever send on my society. Yama. It's almost Shannon Yama and I have black. Yanyama say, oh, no one on Yama. Yes, On your my penny, so down, dear. Mukatan is a photo, for Tonya, the last. Yet, Jimmy idea with 2 man, 40 man. And now I bet Nasso on the son of your wire, son. Yet I am cotton in the army. If there was Yaba, yet 2 back, young Jeffina coming here. Oh, no, no, son, I did. Who can't tell any last minute. No, show me a Jana Mania coupon. Only a coupon, but the on my penny. Only a coupon 10 times.
Yada was it. Yada was it.
That's what Musi and Traffy. Obi or top your water, Sao did. And I'll be only boy for beer. America for almost warm. Now you want a neighbor boy.
Ma, but what's your CSA? Ya we been to near see to my
and your son boy. Yes, you tell us say you know about. Yet, have you saying ye, and today not banning back to me, I yard the boy. Did you end up from well?
And see, a day, na your bedroom, my yen your social distances, yen chin your home. I don't mean to you.
Yet, Tim was saying, I chum said, this is a commodia, you want them car commodia. Mimi thought of Kunumi Wadenta, Musi and told you animal for no moody. Mbaba ton toast Numeko, almost by better than the other Kunu. What am I say? Miado Kunu, someone back. Mr. Minya Quanto, Minyan to Santo, better than the other Kunama for no. Nipanu kita skapom bedin. What I say? Enti mu hwe se mo be chiche market mu kra. Oyi beba week we no we ya bakra ye. Na mu se ye traffic nkwade menye hwe se be ye yi.
Ye dasi bebre. Fashion ba. Ye dasi.
Ati, wora kunya half a 3 bi choda kofanasi. Na mi chofa 3 kofe ola, traders ye mi dey na mi gbe lati e ma. A shi ati agbafo. La ye ma la ye ko just sin ye ha mi wo ka fi bo. If you never go for travel, all of me and Yaran walk back behind me. If you got a egg behind, what can I say together $1? Let me love $1, let me look at that. Not the money, then I say, but go to me and I can't come here if you're vegetarian, but I couldn't love to name me.
Akpe.
Yeah, but say about Brown, if I say about Brown, so bonus of about Brown, Brandy, so on could be outside free by. Eh, crony ha, it's a market at Bassa. You go up and she, I bet you the lady. Omo de ni access on Mexica, on Meshi. And I make it as no more. Madina Market, I attend Pantanai.
Acho me ba yenya ne ba ko ba. Mu se adwane no mu nsa nka adwane no. Mu nsa nka adwane no.
Sanka she, Sanka dano. Omo cho me dan nyina na omo nyama omo chan nyina omo Meshi. In Contanai. It's a ban, say on my acquaint, say to the company from Kobe free by, and no quantity of person Becca, and I has an enemy crew, into a serena on my acquaint, say to the company from Kobe free by.
Your Pekka. Janet and your crowd, your car, no me and your car, no be a Maya, me and Cock. You drew I bequeath for me a bit. In Contanai, I afraid 3 times. Actually, a Janet and a bar, no much, I'm the man paying for a friend. Who free him, who trade be offer. Not a hop for no master line near the Namo. You want Atima, yes, you free Atima. Omo my she, Zongo Junction. And a Zongo Junction for your prayer 3 times, your prayer Quantanai, Atima, my betray your D, and back and so you who would say a Macayo for your rabbi. So on my crowd in your car. On my car, young cock, young yes, because I then you're ready. Can't hear you.
And I'm a quarter of the deal.
And you come
baby, I had done for your Tiaka. Your son said Tiaka, yet you will be fear every week. I bet you had them. You bet it for German and Bababe, the Jumaka Crana and Yabia Podi. As your Maloki Joe. And I had sooner higher, I want to hang a chrome. Into my can I am coffee. Yariani Sand, your Baba no Besaba. And yes, sir, fear and I had seen the feeling for 2 years. Because one may age, my when yes, come what you them car. Fear and also see. One may have 3 weeks here and 2 over 2 years. It is all your camp on my fire and coffee on bed of my. Not bed, you are in my. Copim da. Yariani back when I have coffee. And yes, sir. And yes, I know, yes, Rabbi, Yes, no, I quite a crum. And then I hear what has any one. I hear Cass area quite enough, and to umbrella, Panacho video, America, young Quenny baby, until your house here, one. I can't look one here, oh my, when I quit crum. On my car name for your crew. They hear you say a jump for our fear and they say Yaban, you have a baby beer for fear. And so did you cry or her, or bow enough, as a son you be a man of. And the other yesterday,
Pacho, but dear Papa can Mama quite that Emma quite a mountain.
Oh, ja, Akola, mammy, or we are 7. Intimatinafia, Nintimi Hundi, Mibaya, Afia Colanomo, until Hana Miba, Abayaka Cracker, Ama Colanomo Fieno, Titiano, Acolano Mocatil Sema, Mipesica, Minim de Mibaya. You see, I'm in India, Mbaya, Ama Acolano, Fieno, Antimacatina, Mibaba Yaka, Titia Macatin, me deaf here. Minim de Mibaya, Ama Mibani. Ebia omoya sika no de ati se omomo ya sika enye ya nyina ya nim sa sika no nti munya abotire ade mo ba ya ni fire ya
da si bebre why ya da mo si bebre
ago me pamocho o man Ghana me pamocho umienya aso merade na me pacho ye ka anika nso de na ya physical no friends honhom de no ade ekoso ya bufuo na aduru awurade anim na ama ye hu no saa timbacho munye nyamre na ye mfa suni nkotodwe ne nkotosrensre awurade na wontina ne hwe yen na se ye de yesem ma no ade ye ene yakoma so ade na awurade be ya
amen
na kakrai mama entwam sane awurade aka no me pamocho enye di kanso sem enye obaya sem enye ni pasem spiritual sem enta mama to me free camp oba na mu me dress am digina ho no ade
ma wo for camp na camp ni fa hin na ho
me pa to me nkitin na me ko share ho enti da me ko no me ba na mafadwa so ma to no me se me ko ye nkwan kakra no
na o bomb pie no patrol wo observe social distance
patrol there bi
o sha max
me patrol ti e
ho nsa
me mari na say me nkutin na me da me anko ko twa o twa legon ho na meti police won ma je o mu sika na me ko kan enti ade na ekoso ena agro enti wona me ma me ho so na me fa no me na me da me ka me ko but me share that for me normal ye finto mu sam se me ko fa no ma odum na me kosi na enso ho adwuma na me ko ebu me ko atwe ebu
enti wo da so police for no
me da no kan wa
da police for
oh enti esa me ko adum fo bu me ko he bu me ko atwea na we de man ko atwea me ko he and after Medicano. And Miss Ramon Media Minim said, Raddy Becas, Wacasa, no more commonly Bibia, Munya, can you from by go from near Sooner Brothers, near Buffalo Show, and then Costa.
Yeah, that's very,
I don't know what,
yeah, that's.
I didn't kind of.
It's incredible! Bang on target!
Maraku fatu doko mi wana ala mieda agbakoko haduna le mi nyantu ha o dagbla ye wa kpora na ka fi adu o ba fi wa kpora adu fi fi obo mo gara na mu tendi ase wa o mo atanda fetre ha lati mo o ha wa kpora adu mi ajira de lege akpora adu nkaka to bia yo le de fi fi na mo de ore aka ha wa kpora adu mi hana mo ko be mi jirare e ka mi akpala gadu tamiraku asere mi nya ba dola lava kakare no wona mi pepe na nya kwesira ka ha mi ba duase afnya ka ta ga shafie ma ha pe aba mi nya mi table mi ola anya gbaja
Akpe. Well, viewers, I hope you are following the conversation. This market has been closed before. It's not the first time the market has been closed. It's been closed before. But I'm hearing from the traders that even though it's been closed before, they were still coming. They were still coming to the market. I understand that some of them have been arrested. We spoke to 2 of the traders who have been arrested. They shared their experiences. This evening, they've been told that it's going to be closed this evening today, and they will not be allowed to come in, and they'll be arrested if they come. Now, as you can tell, sentiments in the market this evening are very high. The market women are very emotional. The Kayaye are just as emotional. Their plea is that cameras keep coming here, their names keep being taken, they come here and they register them for food. Somehow the Kayaye in this Medina market have not received any food as of now. Let's go. Hello, madam. Social distancing.
Madam.
Yes, madam.
You hear me say? Yale na eba nyina ye boy hu ba de omu ka nyina omu do ye nti na omu say ye boy hu ba na to omu de nyama ba na ma frɛ bi no mu so omu bagyeje na ye ko hono mu no omu ma
call him if na call
me jina station no ba bi omu ton ponche no omu kita dua no ye sheda pa ye pese ye bedi dua ba ye sheda pa ye ko ye omu se omu ma ye omu sre ponche fo na omu ton ponche no say omu bedidi ana ponche fo no say omu didi amenti omu de omu nji kan you magic say ye ko e no ma ma ye omu say ye ndi omu chi ko wa ye ko chi chi ma omu ansa na ya je sana mu ye
ti much show mu do nanso madam pacho kweche kakama me
omu ma omu bi yesu omu ma enyina e kama no bi aka omu chiche bibi ma ya ye ni problem say be chi
pacho uchro udin omu uchro udin
anya say omu frey na nka omu say ye ntro di kura ye be tro omu ama ye ntro omu say ye ndi omu chi koka yefo no mo ansa na omu ma ye bi ena esi ye ntia se enyina ye kama no ho bi nti di omu ye ni enye won
yeah that's it na
ye be giduani no but omu ma ye bibi ye nti na fie ye ni sika ye ni hwe ye be den ye ntimi nto ade so won nti omu ye mobo so omu mi gina omu ma me bibi a me mma kopi tama omu be bie kwa meba me ni bi ese me mbra me be to tu me nye bibi nti de ha me no no
yeah that's it baby yeah that's it come with me let's go. Hello. Wafa good evening.
Good evening.
Wafa na adena ya to market na wa ha wo ton ade.
Oh, unim dey bar na sai. Yesu akwaji loan e dey afa bar na ba ya fa na bebre. Wa mu jana na se mfa aduane mbra ya dey aduane na ba. Abede wa mu jama to market no mu. Ese na bar na ba ba e ka.
Nti ye be chenwe. Was ye chinko for good prison.
Wa mu na se ya mfa aduane mbra. No wa mu ndidi. Abede abeduru a wa mu se ma to market no mu. Ya nim na e be.
Pacho unim say yare bia bade.
Wa mu se yare aba pa.
Omo say. Na unim say yare na ba.
Nje nzaba yo ni tanti se no mboaye.